So now that we waited till marriage, how is sex in marriage after waiting? So we did a video on how we waited till marriage, so how we were able to maintain sexual purity until marriage. And now we want to even go deeper and talk about how that decision has affected us in marriage, how it has affected our sex in marriage. So waiting till marriage, how is sex in marriage after waiting, literally. And a lot of people have different beliefs about waiting till marriage. Is sex boring? They have, some people have fears. If you did not test before marriage, how are you going to be able to do it? Are you going to struggle? So many questions. So we are here to be very open with you. We're going to be very honest and keeping it real. And hopefully at the end of this video, you get a thing or two from our experience and our journey. So let's just get right into this video.
Yep. Okay, I'm just going to start it by asking you the questions first.
Okay.
Now, do you wish, tell me sincerely,
Yeah.
do you wish I had had prior experience, maybe sexual escapades before we got married? Maybe with other ladies or even with ourselves before we got
With
married?
other ladies? If I had explored with other ladies?
Yeah, as in if myself, do you wish that I have had experience maybe with
Okay,
other ladies?
okay, that's what you mean.
Yeah, maybe with other ladies or between ourselves before I
Before.
got married or before we got married.
Okay. Interestingly, I think I've had this conversation with you before,
Yeah.
where those times, those
Yeah.
days I gave my life to Christ newly, and I heard a lot of things about sex and marriage and all. I had my fears and anxieties.
Yeah.
I used to wish that, I would marry a guy that probably was into it, was doing it, and is very good at it, quote and unquote, and then he now gave his life to Christ. They used to say that Christian sisters, they like bad boy, something like that. So I was just wishing for that kind of thing, because I just felt like maybe someone that has not had prior experience or prior knowledge might be boring or might not know how to do it and all. And to be honest, then there's some people that there was this guy that was really close to me, then kind of trying to, talk to me and all. And then he was always talking about, he was just very braggadocious that some ladies used to tell him that he's really good. So it made me feel like, okay, now just a long story short, I just used to wish, that someone had that experience and maybe to help me enjoy it better. But now in marriage, I can categorically say that you don't need any experience to enjoy sex in marriage.
Okay.
Yes. From our journey.
You don't need any prior experience.
Yes, you don't need any prior experience.
A good sex
life. Yes, to have a good sex life. So we started afresh together, and it has been so beautiful. I mean, and it keeps getting better and better every day.
And funny enough, it's not just you that had that mindset.
Babe.
Wait, no. I think that ladies, let me not generalize, quite some ladies are easier influenced by social media and the things they pick up online and popular opinion. Because what you just said now about good girls liking bad guys or bad boys, I think it's a bit popular, right? And I didn't know that. At some point when I was still single, another lady said something like that to me. To be honest, she said something along the lines of that she too, she was a virgin, but she was hoping that she could get married to someone who used to do that kind of thing, but now doesn't do it anymore and is only interested in her, so that they can have a good sex life and probably he can teach her what to do and all of that. I found that to be ridiculous because there are a lot of baggages that come with that.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of us don't realize.
Yeah, there are a lot of baggages that come with it. If you are wishing for that, there are two things or a few things involved in it. Number one is that the person was good with one person doesn't necessarily mean that the person is going to be good with you from the start.
Okay, first of all, I remember that one of the things we said that one of the reasons we were waiting, in fact, the most important reason, because I know in that video I talked about having a strong wife, of which for us was that we wanted to honor God. And so now that we're married, coming into this space, this covenant, knowing that, you honored God and you kept yourself, it's just a beautiful thing. It has helped strengthen our intimacy, just knowing that we came in honor of God, marriage bed undefiled. So we're just enjoying a beautiful gift that God gave us without any guilt, without any shame, without any baggage. So it's just really, really beautiful.
Yeah, I believe so. And it gives you that freedom of expression within the context of marriage, freedom of sexual expression as well. So I feel like because we didn't go into all of that when we are single, now that we are married, the liberty I have to, explore with you and to enjoy the whole sexual experience is unlimited by an underlying guilt that would have been there if the bed was defiled before marriage. We know that we honor God in the relationship, our intimacy is strengthened, and we keep waxing stronger and stronger in that sense.
Yeah, glory to God. Yeah, for me, another thing I would say is that there is no pressure to impress. First of all, sex in marriage, it's a learning curve or a learning ground, it's a learning platform. And so it's like coming into something and both of you, you're just starting to learn yourself. You're not coming in with different baggages, like the experience that you had with this person, the experience that you had. You are learning yourselves. And then there is no pressure to impress, like I said. So because, you've not had this experience with other people and I haven't, I'm not trying to have a competition. Oh, you were with these people and I don't know how it was. And it's just like there was this guy that used to talk to me, he came to me then when I was single, but he would just say things like the ladies say that he's good and he would just be telling me all these things. He would telling me stories that he was like really, really proud. Then I remember I was really naive and all, but he was really proud about it, as if it was like some form of CV or an achievement. Now, looking back, if let's say I had married that kind of person with everything he was saying, I feel like I would have been pressured to want to impress him, knowing that, okay, he had experience with other ladies, that, okay, am I doing well? Yes, am I meeting up with expectations and things? I would have been so, is it called self-conscious now? Or yes, I would have been too conscious of myself. And this is why some ladies,
and probably if things were not going well, you would not believe that it could be because he's not doing something right. You would assume all the blame for anything that doesn't go right. And if something doesn't go right as well, he probably might think it's all on you.
He doesn't
have any thing to probably adjust. Because he feels like
the ladies,
he was the master before.
We're really giving him compliments. So it's just me. And I feel like it will take away the beauty of sex in marriage. First of all, this is a gift that God gave us. Like, it's a beautiful gift. I wish people will understand the beauty. It's a beautiful gift that God gave us in the context of marriage for so many reasons. Number one, so that you can, it brings a level of intimacy, a very high level of intimacy between yourselves and also between God. It's a form of worship as all. So imagine, and that's why it is
worship. Deep. Yeah, no, go on.
Deep, yeah. So deep, yeah. So like you said, we come into this marriage and then I start to feel bad. I start to feel the need that is like it's a performance, like it's a competition, right? I start to feel like I need to impress him. But for us, there's no pressure to impress. We're learning together. If there's any, like even when we first started, the truth is that the first time may not be the perfect time. But that is the beauty of sex in marriage, where we're not ashamed. Oh, I love this. When the Bible says they were naked and unashamed, I don't think it's just like they saw themselves naked and then they are not ashamed. It's also the place of vulnerability, where you can come into this space and I'm vulnerable. I'm vulnerable enough to show you that I'm willing to learn, that I'm willing to try, that this is where I am in this journey, that I'm starting, and then I'm willing to grow with you. And the same thing with the man. So it's a safe space where, so for me, it created a safe space for us where we just came together. We're willing to start to learn together, make mistakes, quote and unquote, whatever it is, learn each other as well. Because I think that's what some people also don't understand. Okay, that you're not, even like this guy now that talked about, that was talking about the ladies he's been with. What I like may not be what all those people like, and all of that.
And what you like to them and not what you like
exactly. Things are changing. Things are from our story. Things change. Things change because there are times where, okay, maybe when we talk about communication, we can just say this. There are times when my husband will be like, what changed? He has asked me that question, but what changed? I'm like, I beg, this is what I want now. And things like that, because things are changing, and that's the beauty of it, where he sees that, this is how we were before, and we're keeping track record of our growth and progress. We're also seeing the dynamics, we're seeing the changes. You can, like, when they say somebody, I don't think it's just like the intercourse. I feel like it's how do I put it? When you say you know me, I'm trying to say that this is what she likes, what she doesn't like. This is how it is. This is, I know.
I perfectly understand.
Beautiful, something like that. So Anyway, what I was trying to say then was that this guy now may be coming in and he's thinking, okay, I'm very good, and he can come in and the way I like it is not the way the other women. It's very different. But he might not pay attention to me. That's another thing he's doing. He's helping us focus on ourselves as we're learning together. We're paying attention to ourselves and what we like. So he may not pay attention to me. Like you said earlier, he might think that I'm the one at fault, and I might assume I'm the one at fault. Okay, so I think I sucked too much.
No, it's not too much talk. Everything you said is quite valid. And just to buttress some point you raised there, like saying it's a journey, it's a learning curve, right? Many people live life not just in sexual intercourse as well, and even in other aspects of life with an arrival mindset. Okay, they postpone pleasure to the point of arrival, which means they believe that they will be happy, they will be glad when they have reached a certain destination that they set off to go to. But then you should actually enjoy the process, right? The process of getting to that destination. So in marriage and in this issue of sex, basically, you should enjoy the process of learning and getting better with the same person and growing. Now we can look back and say, this is where we started from. Look at how far we've come, and we're excited, and we know that in the future it's going to even get much better. Like I used to say that if the first sex you have on the wedding night is the best sex that you can ever have in the marriage, that means after the first day of your wedding, that means the best days of your sex life are behind you already. So in essence, it should be a progressive, do you understand, journey of development, and you should enjoy it as you go ahead. I had one, I don't know where I had that message, or I think it was a couple discussing as well, and they said something like, I see how we are doing now in the next 3 to 4 years, or in the first 3 to 4 years of our marriage, how much more better are we going to be in the next 20, 30 years? So because they realize that this is a journey where they are learning and improving with time, other than feeling that they needed to get all the experience prior to marriage and then come into marriage being experts and perfect people at the game. Yeah.
So there's something really beautiful about learning together and growing together, knowing that this is where we both started, like having a fresh start, a clean slate, and then we're just building on this together. I think it's actually really good.
Yeah.
So,
I think the other thing as well is trust. Trust, or the lack of it, is what I believe, or one thing I believe is one of the greatest impediments to successful marriages, or one of the things that actually destroy marriages, the lack of trust. And one of the things that breeds lack of trust is prior experiences, escapades before marriage, prior sexual escapades before marriage, either within the couple themselves or with other people before they got married. By God's grace, I've always known this for a long time. And I'd say I started trying to be faithful to whoever I'll get married to even before I knew the person. The reason is, yes, of course, because at that point, what the mind I had was that I want to give this person very minimal reasons to be suspicious of me, right? I just wanted to get into it with a minimal baggage possible, right? So that I'm coming in, I'm not, there's nobody you are imagining outside there that okay, I have an emotional connection to as a result of something we've done in the past. Okay, you don't have that. If there was something like that has happened, it will breed suspicion, and suspicion then affects trust. Okay, for instance, if you knew that there was somebody that I had sexual intercourse with before we got married, even if we're not talking, if you become aware that that person is in this same city, we no longer talk, but you know that I'm aware that that person is in this city, somewhere at the back of your mind, it may make you a little bit uncomfortable. Just the fact that that person is within the city, right? And if maybe I come back late at any point in time, you might just be asking me in more detail, where have you been, right? But now I can come back a bit later than I used to come back from work. You just say, babe, you dismissed late today. I say, yeah, I was a bit delayed with some work. And that's it. You're not necessarily thinking and wondering, where did he go to? Has he been in touch with this person? And if you then ever see a chat between us where I said good morning, good afternoon, that good morning will be sounding to you like, where can we meet? Do you understand? So this is it, and the reverse is also applicable. So I think that that is one thing that waiting helps, to ensure. And I say that it's not just maybe having slept with somebody else. If the two of us, it happened with the two of us, it will also make you think the fact that we couldn't resist each other at that point also means that there is a chance that I may not be able to resist someone else outside, right? And I might also be thinking the same of you. But if you knew that we are tempted, but we overcame it. Now it'll give you a little bit more trust. It doesn't mean that 100% is even it's impossible, even if I expose myself without wisdom to dangerous situations. But you know that there is a layer of resistance I have, and there is something that made me resist it, which is my love for God and my devotion to God that made me not do that. So that gives you some level of security in thinking that, okay, I know I can trust this person.
Yeah. So I think another thing that has helped us with, waiting has helped us build intimacy beyond sex. Yeah. So for some people, especially if we were doing it before, it's like our friendship will probably be based on the intercourse and all of that, or the intimacy, and when it is not happening. And the truth is, to be honest, it doesn't happen as often as people think that it happens. That's the truth. I mean, I know I don't know about you, but I had fantasies about, maybe the way to be happy. I don't know why nobody told us.
You're thinking it's going to be a amoxicillin prescription.
Like
TDS.
It will be like, especially now that you're like, we have waited. I feel like by the time we start, we know that there's no stopping. But the truth is, a lot of things. That's why I say it requires a lot of intentionality in marriage. It's not fueled by emotions. It's not just all your feelings. So sometimes, whether you, like Pastor Mildred will call something, she will say something about dutiful sex. So what I was trying to say is that, so when we're not having the sex, what are we? We're still friends. Okay. So, but there are some people that okay, let me not talk about them. But I'm just saying, if we were doing this before marriage, I feel like maybe a lot of intimacy, what we would perceive as intimacy, is just intercourse. Okay. Whereas friendship and intimacy is beyond sex.
Yeah. So pursuant to your point, some people just meet themselves, and I'm surprised at what I hear. People have sex on the first date they have. If that happens, subsequently the judgment is clouded, right? And that's probably why some people are in a relationship that they are seeing obvious red flags, but they cannot get away from that relationship. They progress to get married or proceed to get married despite the red flags they've seen. It's probably because their judgment has been clouded. But if they left that out of the equation and continue to build friendship, they will then continue that friendship even in marriage. And when sex is not happening as frequently as you mentioned earlier, then they still have something that brings them together. They still have that connection that they've already built, right? That is not founded upon sex alone. That's important.
Really important.
There's also something called soul ties, right? We used to say that sex is not just physical, right? It's also spiritual. And so when you are having if you do have sex with somebody, or you have sex with somebody else, there's some form of spiritual connection that you do get with that person, some soul ties that you get with that person, which needs to be broken and needs to be severed, right? Spiritually, those ties can be severed or are severed when you do give your life to Christ. But emotional ties, how about the emotional ties? Being born again does not break emotional ties. Emotional ties are broken by deliberate effort and boundaries that are set in place, deliberate actions that are taken to separate and to cut off that connection, right? Which may have, it would take quite a lot, right? Even after you've been born again, if that person comes across and the conditions are not right, you might find that some of those things begin to sprout up again if you're not careful, right? Now, saying that I'm now born again, I'm spiritual, doesn't necessarily stop it. The only thing that can stop it is creating those boundaries, right? And so why do you want to even create the opportunity or the chances of those things happening in the first place if you can afford to? But if there's someone who has not done it yet, maybe the person is still single, it's best not to create the possibility of that circumstance occurring in the first place.
I just remember this someone I saw on Instagram. A lady just asked a question that whenever she's married now, and that whenever she and her husband are making out, she said she's always thinking about her ex. She even put there, is it bad? She was like, when my house, like, I can't even.
What answer was she expecting? No, I don't think it's bad.
Maybe
good.
she wants to find out whether she's the only one it happens to. Like, your husband, you and your husband are doing things, husband now, and you're thinking about your ex. So, which really ties all these things down to, talking about the baggages and the trust and all. But I'm even thinking, if that man should peep into her thought or find out, how is he going to feel? It's possible that the man is doing his best to pleasure her the way he can. I don't know how the ex, whether she prefers him or whether it's just, sometimes it might not even be that it's better. It's just like the pictures that you've created, something. Okay, so for us, it has been a very safe space, learning and growing together, discovering each other and all of that, right? And for us, yes, the first night was not all fireworks and magical, reality TV shows and all the things that, we see and expectations and all of that. And no pressure. It's okay, because you're in this thing forever, for life. And practice, they say, makes perfection. So why would you want to now be practicing with other people when you can come into this marriage and practice with the person you want to be with for life? You understand? And get better with that person. I mean, we have grown. Oh my God, God has been so gracious. It has been really, really beautiful learning this thing together without baggages, with so much confidence, and it's so lovely. And I think that's how God just designed it to be, where two people come together unashamed. They are learning together and perfecting this beautiful gift called sex that God gave in the context of marriage, right? Don't let anybody deceive you or lie to you or make you feel like you need to test something or you're missing out if you don't try it. Your sex life is going to be boring. For us, to me, it's not boring. So honestly, I feel like those lies are just a way of the enemy trying to distort a perfect and beautiful gift that God has placed in the context of marriage. Because the truth is, even having all those testings, I think we're going to do a follow-up video talking about some myth or lies that people have been told about sex before marriage versus, just busting those myths. One of it is saying that you have to test. To be honest, you don't need any, like, this is the true definition of come as you are. When you come and you experience this, and you will grow and you would learn, you'll be more confident. In fact, do you know that I heard someone, there was something I was watching one day, I don't know what it was, and then they were interviewing a commercial sex worker, and then she was saying that they prefer married men. Yes, to men that I'm telling you. And don't forget that some of these married men had no prior knowledge, because the more you do this thing, like, these married men have practiced, they've practiced. Sorry. Okay. The perfection comes with lots of practice, doing it every time, learning about each other, discovering each other and all of that. So yes, like I said, for me, it's a safe space and we are growing together. That's how it's supposed to be, growing and learning. It's not a performance. It's not about perfection, instant perfection. You could even try and you think you gain the skill. See, I feel like, so Jesus, and I think that's why, again, God talked about they were naked and unashamed, because you don't need any skill. You don't need any skill. You just need a willing heart. You just need intimacy, a ready heart to learn, a ready heart to be patient as well, and then you're good to go. And something came to me one time, how people are afraid of the action, because I know that, yes, like I said, I also had anxiety. What if he's not able to do anything? Just like a lot of people, I won't lie, I was anxious and a lot. Will he be able to? What if and all of that? And there's something that I've learned. First of all, God designed the male and the female part, and for some reason, Adam and Eve just knew what to do with it. They didn't have any prior experience or prior knowledge, because how did they know that they did it? They had Cain and they had Abel. So I know that they did something. So, but how they even Adam, seeing her physiology, knew that, okay, there's something I have that is supposed to get in somewhere and all of that. So I feel, why I'm saying this is that I feel like basics. When you get into marriage, you already know what to do, like on a basic level. You just know basic, that there's this instinct, it'll come upon you like the Holy Ghost. Okay, I'm joking. I feel like, so don't, now when people are talking about performance, I think they're trying to be perfect. Now that one comes with learning. Even the person that you're thinking, let him do something. With other people, he has been learning, they have been practicing, and outside the context of marriage, in fact. So even if you give yourselves grace and allow yourselves, you can be anything. You can be great. Now, for us, like I said, it was a lot of intentionality, a lot of growing and learning. So how the intentionality comes into place with us being patient with each other. Yes. communicating, learning to communicate it. What do you like? What is it that you don't like? And like we mentioned earlier, we're communicating without fear of judgment, or expectations and all of that. So it's like, oh, this wasn't, I felt this was good, this was okay, how can we get better? Oh, this was really good, what did we do differently? Oh, wow. And it might even be like things change, like, no, I no longer like it this way, I want something else, and all of that. We are learning and we are growing. So by communicating, even by, like I said, learning each other, what each other like, what we like, and also resources. There are different beautiful Christian resources that you can use to, learn and get better too. So yeah, that's it. I don't know. Do you have anything to say?
Well, I think you said it all. Like you said, it's a journey.
Yeah,
I think
journey.
I said it earlier as well. That as I said earlier, the first night is not the determinant of how the sex life will be going forward.
Yeah, just got you up. I remember I saw something. I saw a comment on Instagram. I don't know, one posted something, but a lady wrote. She was like, if she was judging by her wedding night, that she would have divorced her husband. She was just trying to say that wedding night was like, people were, there are a lot of people that were commenting that under the comment. I was like, wow. So they were just trying to say that if they were to judge their marriage by their wedding night, so basically they've gotten really better, and things like that. And that is how it's meant to be, and that is how it will be as well.
So you progressively get better at it. If you were thinking that you need to master it before coming in, when you come in, you start to learn this person afresh, right? The things that I know now that work for you specifically might be different from any other woman. So at the moment, I am a consultant Vivianologist. It doesn't then mean that we have stopped learning. We are still improving, because I know that, I know that this works most of the time, but then there are other things I'm also trying to explore. Can I add this to it? Can I add this? Can we add this to it? And you're also learning me better. You know the things I want and the things I don't really like. I think what matters most is the willingness of the two parties involved to continue to grow. And I'm going to say something really quickly, and this is something that somebody told me, and that's a Christian brother that told me about this. And that was also before we got married, when I was having a little bit of anxiety. It seems that he too and his wife, they did not do it before the marriage. So I was like having anxieties. Will people struggle if they don't do this and all of that? So he told me something. He said that when they first got married, the first day, their first wedding night, I think, also, he was always bragging and telling and saying that I'm going to finish you and all of those things. But when the wife came out and it was time, the glory was too much that the ministers could not minister. So yeah, but the wife showed very good understanding, and eventually nothing happened that day. But the next day, he said everywhere was on fire. They were on it for 2 hours. So if he was married to someone who had been overexposed previously, she would have been non-patient with him, and also probably a bit judgmental, which would have affected his confidence, and probably introduced a vicious cycle that will continue and make a mess of their sexual relationship. So the main thing there is that these two people know that we are married, we're going to make these things work. You understand? They have that open mind, right, to make this thing work, right? So if the two people involved have that kind of mindset, it's almost impossible that they will not have a good sex life, because they are open to learn and they want to make it work, right? But contrast that with the situation that you might experiment with someone before you marry them, but the time you get married to them, something happens. They start to have problem with, there are sexual problems that can happen along the line. A woman's libido might drop for some reason, stress, or
even the man,
or birth or pregnancy. A man's libido might drop. The man might even have problems with erectile dysfunction at some point, even though he was
a pro.
You understand, prior to the marriage and all of that. So those things happen. So you can't guarantee these things. So doing it outside of marriage is a lie. It's a deception of the enemy to tell you that you need to be sure about this before you get married. But if you come in willingly, and also God, knowing that you honored him, will also help to make sure that you don't have those problems. And even if those things arise, you are willing to both seek help together. So that's what matters, without judgment and without having regret and start comparing, if it was this person I married and all of that. So
So really, waiting doesn't guarantee instant perfection. I'm going to be very honest, but then it provides like a foundation that you can build on, a foundation of trust, intimacy, without fear, without judgment, that you can now build your sex life on, and you can now even have a fulfilling sex life. Really, I no regret my own end, no regrets waiting at all.
Your own end, my own end. Our end.
So I know people are just trying to say any regrets and all, but to be honest, no regrets. You can truly have a fulfilling and satisfying sex life even after waiting. So that's it. So because we don't want this video to be too long, we're going to do a continuation, more like a part 2, where we're going to go in depth and talk about deep things. We're going to go deep. We're going to actually bust some myths. We've not gone deep enough. We're going to bust some myths. We're going to talk about things like, sexual compatibility, just talk about all these things that people have believed, a lot of things. So if you're interested, please do well to subscribe and click your notification button just so that you can get notified when I post that video. And if you're interested in anything, relationship, marriage, dating, I think this is a channel for you to be, really, because here we're going to be trying to bring a lot of valuable content to you in this space. And thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, I will see you in my next video.
Thank you.
Bye.